It's no secret that I love Sailor Moon. Watching through the series countless times and memorizing and singing all the songs countless times is actually one of the ways that I learned Japanese. I listened and studied the subtitles with all my might, trying to glean what I could from context, and wishing that Japanese textbooks could just be anime with detailed translator notes. So I'm going to honor my teenage self's wishes by making a video that goes through the scene where Luna explains to Usagi that she is Sailor Moon and Usagi transforms into Sailor Moon for the first time. I'm going to go through that scene line by line and explain what each word means and what each line means. So get a hot beverage and get your notes out, because this is going to be a long one. Usagi says, "Ah, mikazuki hage no neko." Ah is, ag, oh no. Mikazuki means crescent moon. Literally, if you look at the kanji, it is 3-day moon. Hage means baldness or bald spot. If you saw my Japanese Particles 101 video, no is a particle that can either mean apostrophe s, or it can turn a noun or a concept into an adjective. So in this case, it is doing the latter. Mikazuki hage is the crescent-shaped bald patch. So they're turning this crescent-shaped bald patch into an adjective for neko, which is cat. So, you're the cat with the crescent-shaped bald patch. And then Luna says, "Hage じゃないわよ、失礼ね." Hage じゃないわよ、失礼ね. Hage, bald patch. Janai means it is not the thing that came before me, so it's not a bald patch. Wayo is a very feminine, emphatic ending to your sentence. So hage janai wayo is like, hey, it's not a bald patch. Shitsure means rude. Ne is when it's elongated. If it's just ne, it's a very polite, soft, right, yeah, kind of ending to the sentence. But ne is kind of like, yeah, no, or yeah. So shitsure ne is like, how rude, or watch your sass. Usagi says, shabetta! Neko ga shabetta! Shabetta is the past tense of shaberu, which is to talk. And notice how there's no pronouns or anything. It is just talked, past tense. It is not that uncommon for Japanese people to not specify a noun and just say a verb. And that's a complete sentence all by itself. From context, we kind of know what's going on in the scene. It's obvious she's saying, the cat talked. But then she clarifies it in the next line with neko ga ... Basically, she's pausing in mid-thought. Neko ga shabetta. So neko is cat. Ga is the subject marker. So this cat is doing something. It is either doing a verb or it is an adjective or something. In this case, neko ga shabetta, which means the cat spoke, the cat talked. So, oh my God, the cat's talking! And then Luna says, "Atashi no namae wa Luna." Atashi no namae wa Luna. This is a Japanese 101 kind of sentence. Atashi is just the more feminine version of watashi, which is I or me. No, as I explained earlier, when no was used as to turn a noun into an adjective. In this case, no, when added to atashi or watashi, changes it from I or me to my. Namae is name. Wa is the topic marker of the sentence. And if you saw my video on Particles 101, I highly recommend you watch that if you're still a little fuzzy on what all these particles mean. The way my Japanese 1 teacher taught it, and to this day, I really like this way of explaining it. It is as for ... So as for my name, and then she's gonna tell you about it. So my name is Luna. あなたを探していたのよ、うさぎちゃん。あなたを探していたのよ、うさぎちゃん。So anata is you. Wo is a particle that you add after a noun to show what verb is going to be happening to that noun. So in this case, it is sagasu, which is to search for or to look for. So sagashite ita means I was looking. No yo is this emphatic feminine ending to a sentence. So, anata o sagashite ita no yo. It's like, man, I was looking for you, And then usagi-chan, the chan ending to usagi just makes it kind of cute. It makes it kind of girly, and it makes it kind of young and youthful. So Luna is establishing with her speech pattern that even though she herself is kind of feminine and kind of casual, she also sees Usagi as, kind of younger than her and kind of beneath her. And then Luna says, so. So Japanese people say so and so a lot. So is like, oh yeah, right. So usually means, yes, that's right. What you just said. Yeah, that. But so, that elongated is more like, oh yeah, I almost forgot.
はじめにお礼を言わなくちゃね。
はじめにお礼を言わなくちゃね。はじめに means I need to start with or at the start. お礼 is the polite version of de, which is just to thank someone. So de is thanks as a noun. So you're going to do something to that noun. 言わなくちゃ. So the original form of this verb was you, which is to say. So de o you would mean to say thank you to someone. But if you drop the u and change it to wanakucha, that means, I had better do that verb. So iwanakucha means I have to tell you, or I should tell you, or I'd better tell you. And then the ne at the end, it softens it up, makes it kind of cute, makes it less like, I must tell you. It's like, oh yeah, I should thank you first.
どうもありがとう。
どうもありがとう. Japanese 101, it just means thank you very much.
絆創膏剥がしてくれて助かったわ。
絆創膏剥がしてくれて助かったわ. Bansooko is band-aid or bandage. Hagasu is the root form of the verb and it means to peel something off, to remove something. So hagashite, so if you drop the su and change it to shite, kureru, that means to do something for someone, and it's like a nice thing that you're doing for somebody. So hagashite kurete means that you peeled off the band-aid off of my forehead and it was good that you did that. That was like a favor that you were doing for me. Tasukatta wa. Tasukatta comes from tasukeru, which is a verb that means to help or to aid someone. Tasukatta by itself, though, it can mean the past tense of that, like, he helped me. Or usually, if you're just saying tasukatta by itself, it means, phew, that was a close call, or thank God I'm safe now. It has that kind of feeling to it. And then the wa at the end is, soft, feminine sort of way of ending your sentence. So, thanks for taking that band-aid off my forehead. You're a real lifesaver. Luna says,
されてると喋れないし。
されてると喋れないし. This confused me a lot when I was reading manga when I was a beginning Japanese student, and I didn't really know what meant. So it can often just mean a person going or just, meaningless sort of thing, or like singing But can also mean in that way or like that. So it goes with the so, ko, do sets of words that you might have heard of. So the ko version of is ko, the so version of is so, and the do version is do. So it's basically just an elongated version of the first syllable of the so, ko, do words. So ko means like this, so means like that, like the way you're doing it. Do means how, in what way, like how. And then means like that, just generally, not necessarily like that, the way you're doing something, but like that. So that is what means in this case. Sareteru, so sareteru is the form of suru, the verb which is to do stuff. But if I suru something, I am doing something. But if something, for me, sareru, it means something is being done to me. So sareru means like to have that done to me, to have that thing done to me. Sareteru means when that thing is being done to me. So if you add to the end of that entire thought, so put that sareteru thought in brackets and then add to after that. So to in this case means whenever. So whenever that thing is being done to me, and in this case, that thing is the band-aid covering her crescent bald patch. Shaberenai, so as we covered earlier, shaberu is to talk. Shaberenai is the negative version of that, so I can't talk. She is a particle that I actually did not get to in my Particles 101 video, but she is kind of like if you are making a negative conclusion about something and you're listing reasons why that is negative. It's like, I hate summer. It's hot. The sun is too bright. There's too much daylight. I'm bored because there's no school. Therefore, I hate summer. That's kind of how you use she.
鈍るし。
探知能力は鈍るし。So 探知能力. So if you break apart the kanji in this four kanji compound, tan is to search for something, chi is knowledge, no is like your brain or your instincts, and then ryoku is power or strength. So what do you think that four kanji compound means? It's actually kind of logical. It means kind of your radar or your detector, your detection ability. We don't have a very good translation for it in English. So you add a wa after that to show, well, I'm going to tell you something. As for my radar, as for my detection ability, niburu means to become dull. So my detection abilities become dull. She, so she's adding this to her list of these are reasons why it sucks to have a bandage on my mikazuki no hage.
いたずらされて困ってたのよ。
いたずらされて困ってたのよ。So itazura is to be bullied or to have pranks done to you or to be teased. And the reason why it is done to her is because she's adding the sarete. So if I were saying itazura suru, it means I am doing pranks. I'm pulling pranks on other people. I'm teasing other people. I'm bullying other people. But if it's itazura sareru, it means people are teasing me. People are bullying me. And then komatteta comes from the verb komaru, which means to be in quite the predicament. And then because you drop the ru and change it to teta, it means I was in a state, I was in quite a predicament. And then no yo at the end is this emphatic you know. So when I have the band-aid on my forehead, I can't talk, my radar is dull, and all those kids were bullying me and I was in quite the predicament, you know?
でも、おかげでやっと会えたわ。
でも、おかげでやっと会えたわ。Demo means however or but. Okage de, this is another Japanese 101 term. You may have learned it as okage-sama de, which means like thanks to you, or thanks to circumstances or whatever. It's not necessarily, well, okage-sama de would be thanks to you personally, but like okage de means like thanks to the universe, thanks to circumstances, thanks to reasons, or because of that. Yatto means finally, and then aeta is the past tense version of aeru, which means to meet someone. So, でもおかげでやっと会えたわ means, but thanks to that happening to me, I finally got to meet you. And then after a long pause, Usagi goes, oyasumi. That means good night.
うさぎちゃん、これは夢じゃないのよ。
Luna says, Usagiちゃん、これは夢じゃないのよ. But it means this, and wa means as for. So as for this, you know, this thing that you are experiencing. Yume is dream, and yume comes up a lot in Sailor Moon, so you're going to hear it a lot. Janai, if you may recall from earlier on in the scene, it means the negation of what came right before it. So yume janai means it's not a dream. So kore wa yume janai means this is not a dream. No yo, like emphatically, come on Usagi, this is not a dream. Get it through your thick skull.
うさぎちゃんってばー
And then usagi-chan teba. This small tsu followed by a teba. This is very common. You'll hear this a lot in anime. It's like, come on, Usagi. Or Usagi, you're being ridiculous. It has that kind of feel to it.
いいわ。じゃあ、夢を覚まさせてあげる。
Iwa means fine or very well. And it's very feminine. Ja means well then, or okay then, or in that case, then, therefore. I guess I'm gonna do something. Yume, dream. Oh, so you're gonna do something to that dream. The verb that comes after it is samasu, which is the root form of the verb, which means to waken. Samasasete means to make someone waken. So yume o samasasete. So yume o samasasete means to waken the dream, to make the dream wake up, to make you wake up from your dream. Geru, at the end of this te form of the verb, means to do that verb for someone. So remember earlier in the scene, Luna added kureru to the end of a verb to talk about the verb that Usagi was doing to her, and it was very helpful. Geru is kind of the opposite of that. Not opposite in meaning, it's also being very helpful to somebody, but it's like if I say mite ageru, I'm telling you, I will watch this thing for you. And then If I'm asking you, 見てくれるの? I mean, oh, are you going to watch this thing for me? So it just depends on who is having the verb done to whom in the very helpful way. So fine, I'll do you a favor and wake you up from that dream. And then 8. It's an exclamation you'll see come up a lot in anime. It tends to be kind of a more feminine or childish way. It's kind of like, hiya! It's that sort of exclamation.
あなたにプレゼントよ、うさぎちゃん。
あなたにプレゼントよ、うさぎちゃん。あなた you, ni is the particle that means to or for. So あなたにプレゼント means it's a present for you, うさぎちゃん. Then Usagi says,
私これもらっていいの?
嘘! 私これもらっていいの? Which means, 嘘! It's like, no way! Or like, oh my god! It literally means lie. Like, uso is lie. That's a lie, but that's a bad translation. It really means, oh my god! Or no way! Or for real! Kore is this. Moratte comes from morau, which is the verb that means to receive. So morattei, if you drop the u or do or the final syllable of a verb and replace it with a small tsu and a te-i, that's changing the verb into it is okay if this verb happens. So morattei means it's okay if I can receive this. So kore morattei no means is it okay if I receive this? Or in better English, ooh, can I keep it? And then while Usagi is preening before the mirror, Luna's trying to give her some serious talks here.
うさぎちゃん、今東京には変な事件が。
今東京に変な事件が. And then she gets cut off. So ima means presently or right now. Tokyo is Tokyo. Ni, so in this case, ni means at. So at Tokyo, in Tokyo. Henna. Hen is odd. Na is just the ending for hen because it is what is called a na adjective. It has to end in a na. So henna. Jiken, it can mean a lot of things. It means like a case or a criminal activity or an incident oftentimes. Ga, so we're going to say something about these strange incidents that are happening in Tokyo right now, but she doesn't get a chance to finish that thought because Usagi's busy being silly in front of the mirror with her beautiful new brooch. Usagi's busy saying arigato, which is Japanese 101, thank you.
うさぎちゃん、ちゃんと聞いて。
And then Luna cuts her off saying, Usagi-chan, ちゃんと聞いて. Chanto, if it comes before a verb, like chanto mite or chanto kite, it means like, come on, are you listening to me? Come on, are you looking at me? Like, come on, look at me, listen to me. It has that kind of vibe to it. You say this to somebody who's like listening, but not quite. You know, it's like, come on, focus, listen. So yeah, kite is the imperative. Kite is the commanding form of the verb kiku, which is to hear or to listen. So, Usagi, listen to me. Or, Usagi, you're not listening. So she goes back to the sentence that she was trying to say earlier. So, ima Tokyo ni henna jiken ga. And now she's going to finish that thought.
今、東京には変な事件が続発しているの。
So the henna jiken ga, zokuhatsu. Zokuhatsu. This means to continue to happen. If you break up the kanji, zoku means continuing or consecutively, and then hatsu means to be like occurring, breaking out, kind of. So right now, lots of strange incidents are happening one after another in Tokyo.
警察には手に負えない事件ばかりよ。
Keisatsu is the police. Niwa, so keisatsu niwa, for the police or to the police. Tenyuenai is an idiom. So it means they can't keep up with it or it's out of their hands. So tenyuenai jiken is like these incidents are just out of their hands. They don't know what to do with them. Bakari means only, or all there is. So all of these strange incidents that are happening are the kind of incidents that the police like don't know how to handle.
敵が現れたの。
Teki ga arawareta no. Teki is the enemy. Enemies. Arawareta means the past tense of arawareru, which is to appear, like poof, appear onto the scene. So teki ga arawareta means like enemies have appeared or enemies have showed up or enemies are here. You wouldn't necessarily say enemies have appeared. You'd just be like, the enemy is here, like they are upon us.
うさぎちゃん、その敵をあなたが倒すのよ。
その敵を So we're going to have a verb happen to that enemy, that teki. あなたが So she is, you, Usagi, is going to do the verb to the enemy. あなたが倒す. So 倒す is to defeat. So Usagi-chan, you are going to defeat the enemy. As you see, the little components of that sentence got rearranged a little bit.
あなたは選ばれた戦士なの。
あなたは選ばれた戦士なの。あなた is you. 選ばれた. 選ぶ is to choose. 選ばれた was chosen. So it's like the passive tense of to choose. So you are the chosen senshi. If you're a fan of Sailor Moon and you don't know what senshi means, to be fair, in the reboot, it was translated as guardian. It's not guardian. I mean, I like that they call it guardian there. I kind of prefer that to soldier or warrior. But yeah, it means like soldier, fighter, warrior. So Usagi, you are the chosen warrior or soldier. Or you have been chosen to be one of the senshi, one of the warriors.
そしてもう一つの使命は仲間と一緒に私たちのプリンセスを探し出すこと。
そしてもう一つの使命は So そして means and also. もう一つの is the other. So there's one thing that you are, you're this chosen senshi, but then the other thing that you are, but the other mission that you have. Nakama is your friends and or allies. To in this case means with, so with your allies. Ishoni means together, so you need to join with your allies. Atashitachi no, so atashi means I, atashitachi means us or we, and then atashitachi no means our. So it's possessive we, our. Princess is princess. O, so you're going to do a verb to the princess. Sagashidasu. So sagashidasu is to seek and find, like to seek out. And then you're adding koto to the end of that verb. You're kind of turning the verb into a concept. So your other mission is to seek out and find our princess.
なんだかかっこいい。
And then Usagi says, なんだかかっこいい. Nandaka means, oh man, this is kinda. And then kakkoi is cool. So like, nandaka kakkoi is like, I don't really get what you're saying, but that sounds really cool. And then Luna says,
まだ私の言ってることが信じられないのね。
Mada means still. Atashi no itteiru koto. So the things that I am saying. Ga, so it means the things that I am saying is the subject that I'm going to talk about. Shinjirarenai means cannot believe. So you still cannot believe the things that I am talking about. No ne means like, aha, I see. You still don't believe what I'm saying.
信じる信じる。
And then Usagi says, 信じる。means no. Means yes, and means no. Subtle. Kind of like uh-huh and in English. They're very close in sound to each other, but they mean the opposite thing. So that's not confusing at all. Shinjiru means to believe. Shinjirarenai means you cannot believe. Shinjiru means to believe. So, no, I believe you. And she really doesn't. She still thinks she's dreaming. And then Luna says,
そうだったらね、こう叫んでみて。ムーンプリズムパワーメイクアップ。
So, which in this case means really? Is that so? Dattara ne, so dattara means, well, if that is the case, if what you said is the case, dattara ne, it's like, oh, okay, prove it to me then. Ko sakende mite. So like I was talking about earlier with sareru to, like having that way, having that band-aid on my forehead. So ko means this way, like this. So sakende is the te form of the verb sakebu, which is to yell or scream. So sakende mite is the imperative, is the commanding form of sakende miru, which is try to scream. It's not like attempting to scream, but scream and we'll see what happens kind of thing. So, oh really? Okay then. repeat after me. And then in katakana, moon prism power makeup. And this part always made me crack up when I first switched over from the DIC dub to the raw Japanese. Hearing them say makeup at the end of their transformation incantations was really funny because I would always think of cosmetics when I hear makeup. And yeah, they say they don't say make up for cosmetics in Japanese, they say meiku by itself. So meiku appu, to them, it doesn't automatically mean cosmetics makeup. It would mean something more like to make up, to make yourself up, as in to make yourself up into Sailor Moon kind of thing. It doesn't exactly mean cosmetics. So it doesn't sound as ridiculous in Japanese as it does in English. And this is one of those cases where localization is really important. And yeah, I think to include makeup in the incantation that they scream is really silly in a dub. So that was my breakdown of this scene. If you like this video and want to see more like it, let me know, and I just might break down the entire first episode of Sailor Moon. We'll see. 月の光は愛のメッセージ. Oh, hi! Thanks for watching that video. If you want to support me for free, like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. You can also add me on the Facebook or the Twitter. Or you can head over to my Etsy shop where I have Sailor Moon, Ai no Minako, and all sorts of other amigurumi for sale. If you're feeling even more generous, I have a Patreon now. For just $1 or $2 a month, you can get special perks like your name in the credits, or a secret monthly video. Or you could just binge watch all my videos to the end, trick the almighty algorithm into thinking that I'm popular. Do it for the kitties! Bye!